Welcome back, everybody. So, I literally just finished watching season 4, episode 7 of Gotham, named the A Day in the Narrows. Now, generally, I didn't review the last episode on Gotham because I literally only watched it, I think it was like 2 days ago. So, it was a little bit late, but generally, to do with that episode, I actually really enjoyed it. I loved the introduction of Professor Pig. Going back onto this episode, there are a few things I actually generally did enjoy in this episode. The first one is Bruce Wayne. He is getting very overtaken by his anger and rage from what happened to him in a couple of episodes ago. I generally do like this a lot because he's starting to look a lot more darker, and the Bruce Wayne that is around in his later years. You also get to see him in this episode just be basically a billionaire playboy where he just buys a club just randomly. He goes off and talks to the manager and says, "I'm buying it," and basically gets drunk and acts like an idiot. But it is actually really good. I actually really enjoyed that storyline with Bruce Wayne because instead of seeing him training or being or trying to advance his skills to be more like the Batman character that we know, and he's dealing with what he has to deal with and the decisions that he's actually had to make in this series as well. And I actually really did enjoy that storyline. You didn't see too much of him, to be fair, but when you did, it's actually really good. The anger and the rage part of it was the key bit for me. It was just like, that's a bit more like a Bruce Wayne that I'm waiting for, to be fair. So all in all, that part of the storyline was actually really good. Moving on to Professor Pig in here, he's still continuing to spread fear throughout Gotham by killing crooked cops. Try and say that 3 times. Generally, I'm loving this storyline. Like I said, last episode I actually really did enjoy. I loved this episode a lot, a hell of a lot of the storyline which is in this. If you've seen the episode, you know exactly what I'm on about. It's just a very good additional character. It's keeping the series on its toes because I felt before Professor Pig come here, it was slowing down a little bit and I was losing a tiny little bit of interest. But these last 2 episodes have actually kind of picked my interest back up a lot. Which then moves me on to the key point of this episode for me is the relationship now between Jim Gordon, Bullock, Sophie Falcone, and the Penguin. I generally am intrigued by this storyline a lot because in this episode it took a dramatic turn to the point where Professor Pig actually tipped off Commissioner Gordon, and Commissioner Gordon actually tried to stop a bloodbath in a certain building in Gotham in the Narrows. And Bullock and the Penguin just would not listen to Commissioner Gordon in any way, shape or form. So Bullock took the risk of going in there and basically entered into a whacking great big bloodbath, which has completely changed the dramatic of this season because it was the other way around where people were thinking that Jim Gordon was trying to fight for something that he couldn't, where he'd lost a lot of trust with his fellow cops, and now that's kind of changed a lot because where Jim Gordon was then the hero in this episode, it's now Bullock who is now facing the consequences of his actions. And I really did enjoy it this episode. I really did because it had, like I said, the dramatics of this season is now just completely flipped on itself, and Jim Gordon is now he hasn't taken control, but he's starting to take control, which will hopefully then give him the leverage to take away the power from the Penguin, who I have to say is a complete and utter plonker. He's very sadistical. He's very he's very twisted in this series, I have to admit, and I actually really am enjoying it. You also got to see him go back to some of his brutality. He actually killed somebody for a change with his own hands, which is the Penguin that we actually saw in the first series, in the second series, where he actually got his own hands dirty, which I actually thought was a really good touch in this because he was dictating all these orders and all that, but you never really saw the Penguin that we saw in the first or second series, and I actually generally really did. It was a nice subtle little touch, and I love the relationship between him and Sophia Falcone. She is gradually creeping into his little regime and possibly starting to turn him. I'm just loving the way that the series is progressing. To be fair, it's picked up a lot of momentum in the last two episodes, which I actually think is really, really cool. I know it's coming up for its winter break soon as well, but I just generally can't wait to see the rest of this series and the developments of a lot of the characters. I'm really, really interested. Key thing I want to know is the Scarecrow back in the second half of this season. It'd be absolutely amazing. All in all, like I said, generally love the episode. There are a few other bits in there that I actually genuinely did enjoy, but they were just a few of the pointers out of this episode that I actually really, really did enjoy. So on that note, as normal, please tell me what you think and put that in the comments down below. Hope you have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care and goodbye.